Oh, I think that's good. Yeah, we just got to pull like we're drawing and quartering the game, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Hey everybody, welcome to Quill and Sword. I just took everybody by surprise by going live because, hey, that's the thing. This is a stream where a bunch of us writers get together and play some D&D to tell awesome stories. So my name is Stephen Partridge. I am going to be your GM for the evening, and I'm going to roll this D4. Whoever it lands on is going to kick us off with introducing themselves and their platforms, any works they want plugged, etc. But you can find stuff in the cards, and if you're on YouTube, in the description. So let's go ahead and see who we're going through first, and then they can kick it off to the next person. One, that's Sunita.
Oh, all right. As he said, I'm Sunita. I am the voice of Anu. I'm here on Twitch as Zanita D. I'm also currently in editing for my original adult sci-fi, fantasy sci-fi, because it's a mix of both. And hopefully I'm planning to be published by next year. That's all I got to plug, and I'm going to pass it off to Robin.
As I quickly fiddle to unmute myself, hello. I am Robin Miller. Books are still under Megan R. Miller. I am working on getting that changed slowly because I am very lazy. Anyway, probably relevant links somewhere. You can also find me over on Nerdarchy, where Steven and I do like nerdy articles and stuff, and I actually write a lot of their downloadable content as well. So like check that out because it's like fun stuff. And tonight I will be playing Masquerade, who is, in the mask and trying very hard to be a good bodyguard to their charge that seems quite intent on getting herself into trouble. Nathaniel.
Unmuting helps. My name's Nathaniel Wayne. You can find me here on Twitch under Council of Geeks, which is also where you can find the bulk of my creative works under on YouTube and Twitter and also Instagram, though not much goes up there, to be honest. I have a fantasy novel called Dreams of Fire, which is the ebook edition is currently available for pre-order on Amazon. That will actually start going out on June 1st. And that just leaves Marissa.
I would say saving the best for last, but that is incorrect. So, everybody, I am Marissa Mohi. You can find me online at marissamohi.com or youtube.com/Marissa Mohi. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter as @theMarissaMohi. And I have a short story collection that I'm currently in the process of editing. It will be up for sale in June. It's all about books, the women who love them, and the supernatural entities that reside within the pages. I will be playing Nimini Batch for this game, who is everyone's favorite cinnamon roll with a heart of gold.
She really is. So with that, let's just go ahead and dive into Quill and Sword. And we are back. So, to kick us off, our players are going to recap for us something they remember that happened last time. Sanita, you're up first.
Well, last time on Quill and Sword, Anu decided to cause some chaos by shooting a chandelier onto the ground.
So who are you kicking it off to?
Oh, Robin, sorry, we're just going to go down the line.
Okay. Like, I absolutely could have gone last on this one, but all right. So, we were at a party for the golden. Was it a birthday or an anniversary of some sort for the queen?
It was a birthday.
Yeah, so we were at the queen's birthday party, and I believe she was turning 50 and getting ready to announce her heir apparent when the chandelier comes crashing down. Everybody starts running around in the chaos. My charge got kidnapped, and we took off looking for her. And you know what? Let's just continue on with this pattern. I will pass it off to Nathaniel.
So the most important thing, I was dancing at the party before the chandelier came crashing down. And with a nat 20, I had an absolutely sick dance move. Mm-hmm. Everybody thought so, even if they didn't say it. They knew it was amazing. So in the chaos post chandelier thing, we all went looking for Masquerade's charge. Well, ultimately, that's where we sort of ended up. We found ourselves in the same area, and then, I suppose we might as well do that, or at least that was my take on it. And ended up in a rather odd room with some very strange things in it. And Marissa?
Yeah, so we wound up in like this empty kid's bedroom, which was hella creepy, and there was like a big burn mark on the floor underneath the bed, and then like we couldn't find anything or anybody in there, so we went back through the library and back down into the office, and then there was like a button thing in the desk, and so I can't remember who pushed it exactly, but then that opened this door, and then we were going through like this kind of under castle tunnel situation, and then we just kind of went through there, we opened a door, then we found Masquerade's charge, and it looks like that old racist dude got.
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding the bloody knife.
And just as you were about to send Angelique, your charge Masquerade, into the secret passage that you came from, the main door to this room opened up as two guards saw you, caught you, with the bloody knife in your hand, Masquerade.
Oh no, it was not two guards. It was the queen and her personal guard.
The queen and her personal guard responded and came in and saw as well. And so the queen stares dead at you. What have you done?
Clearly, I have not stopped the assassination attempt with my cleverly, well thought out plan to shoot the chandelier.
You shot the chandelier?
What? No. That was an accident.
Okay. So I'm going to throw my arms out. I will dip into a low bow. I will then proceed to take the sword that I took off the wall and lay it at Her Majesty's feet. I'm like, this belongs to you.
Where did you get this?
From the wall upstairs. I'm about to explain why. So the chandelier crashed. Everything was absolute chaos. As we were standing waiting for people to file out of the room, I looked over and Angelique was just gone. There were bloody footprints on the floor. We took off after her. Of course, we're at a party, so I wouldn't have been so gauchious to come armed, and if somebody has been kidnapped, it seemed prudent to have something sharp on my person, just in case things went poorly. I did not intend not to put that back when I was done with it.
I see.
This was bloody and on the floor when we walked into the room, and I just picked it up because, I don't know, I thought there might have been evidence on it or something.
Is that my cousin? My cousin? Behind you?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that blood? That's blood!
Well, it certainly
Guards!
is a gem, my lady.
And the guards file in and just kind of shove past all of you to check him.
I'm offer it hilt first to one of the guards.
This female guard will take it from you, and she stares just perplexed at you, but slides it into this scabbard that she has that is empty because nobody was really carrying their weapons necessarily. And it doesn't really fit super well. And one of the guards looks up and says, "He is dead, my queen." Dead. And she turns to her bodyguard and motions, and then looks at all of you. Take them away for now. Take them away. We will sort this after the party, after everything is found out, after we collect the... I don't even know. She just seems so... She is literally, in the words of the Voirasian Grand Theater, dropped her mask, which is to say she has dropped all facade of propriety. She just does not know what to do right now. And
right. So I will not do the same. I will actually dip into a proper courtly curtsy, like all the way down to knee almost touching the floor before rising, and then like usher Angelique under my arm and like cooperate with the guards.
Okay, so the guards do not try to subdue you as such, but they definitely lead you as a group down these corridors until you reach an area of the castle that is no longer carpeted. Your boot heels click, or in Wisp in your case, your hooves click on the stone tiles as you make your way through a rather large locked door.
I do feel the need to say, just in general, to whatever guards are listening, like, I did hear the queen say that the party was going to continue. I'm just saying, if they are lacking for entertainment because I'm no longer there, you are all going to answer for this.
I do not believe we will answer for anything. However, you should be worried about answering for your, perhaps your friends' crimes or your partner. And they close this thick door behind you and lock it. And they lead you into this row of cells and just kind of usher you all into a cell and click the lock closed. At that time, they leave you to your own devices, and a couple of hours pass. The torches lighting this area are fairly dim, clearly not well kept up. There are pools of drippage just on the floor beneath them. And as you are going, as you're sitting there in the prison, do any of you want to say anything or do anything with one another?
So I'm just going to start muttering. Do they think we did it? I mean, because we went to the library and then we found that room and we absolutely did not do it. We found it after all. What?
Yes, they absolutely think we did it.
Well, this isn't good.
Angelique.
Yes?
And I'm gonna pause for a minute and give a listen and mention quietly that I am doing so in case anyone else wants to give a listen to see if I can hear anybody like down the cell corridor that might be listening to us.
Okay, give me a perception investigation roll.
Cool. $16.
Okay, so 16. So you hear that the prison is actually conspicuously empty. You suspect that, just given your courtly knowledge, they probably didn't want a lot of prisoners in the castle for this event.
Okay. And so I'm going to look at her just sidelong without turning my head, and I'm just like looking sort of down because I'm like way taller than she is, and I'm going to say, you need to tell us what happened from your perspective. Tell it all and tell it true.
So, in truth, the chandelier clashed, and I told everyone to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I turned and I saw a man standing in the hallway, and he beckoned to me. I heard something in my head, something I've never experienced before. And I could not control my steps. my feet slipped out of my shoes and I simply followed. And he walked away, but I continued going. I did not know how or why. It was like my body was moving and I were watching it from the outside. I entered a door and the man was there, or perhaps maybe not him, but someone dressed very similarly. And he tended to my foot. It was bleeding. And she gestures and you see there is bandage on her foot.
Okay.
And from there, there was a noise, a stone noise, and the house rose up. I know this sounds crazy, but I swear, the house, it rose on its own. And we walked into a hallway, and the man gave me a knife. And then I knew what I must do. I don't know how I knew, but I knew what I must do. And I walked out and found myself in that room. And that man, he had his back to me. I do not know who he was. He had his back to me. And the next thing I know, I'm driving the knife into his back and I don't even know why. And then the whispers, they stopped. The whispers in my head. And then you found me.
I'm gonna look over to our prestigious fawn friend. I'm sorry, what was your character's name again?
Wisp.
Wisp. Okay, yes, I look over to Wisp and remark, that sounds an awful lot like sorcery, would you not agree?
Hang on, let me check where my backgrounds are. Sorry, got too much. +5 Arcana. I'm going to assume you'll tell me, Stephen, if no, that doesn't. But I would assume that yes, that is what that sounds.
Yes, that is. It sounds like some form of magic. I mean, you as a bard know that the nature of magic is a little more fluid than just, this is always sorcery. This is always wizardry. The general ways that one goes about accessing the power to bend reality from what is known as the wild is something that people access in different ways, but they can often do similar things at times.
Okay. So, I mean, based off what she said, that she felt compelled and she followed the man and didn't know why. I mean, some men just have that effect, but assuming that that isn't the case, then yes, I would say sorcery is a likely culprit.
And what say all of you are the odds that they believe any of this?
0 out of 10.
Well, I would say the odds are very good that they'll believe she stabbed him. I think they'll believe that part just fine. It's the rest of it I think you're probably going to have a harder sell on.
Has Angelique ever done anything like this before? Is this
not.
the first time?
Of
Okay.
course not. And I'm in the tone of the Karen mom who's there is nothing wrong with my child.
Well, I don't know if we have a way out of this. I mean,
Oh, we do. But I think that we should all agree unanimously first, and then I look at Anu.
Yeah, they were very bad at checking our pockets. So
Weren't they just?
if we want to get out, we can. Is that what we want?
I wasn't planning to stay.
Hold on.
And
Too late.
as you hear that door creaking, you hear plate shuffling on plate a little bit, and you hear a couple of voices muttering to one another, and then this voice echoes out, "Prisoners! Silence!" And they both pause. What was that? I don't know. Everyone can give me a perception investigation check.
I got a 16.
Okay.
22 total.
That's a 2.
2.
11.
11. Anu and Masquerade. You hear just what sounds like claws scraping gently on stone and padded footsteps, almost like bare feet, but it almost sounds like it's uneven or it doesn't quite sound like the way an animal would move. And Masquerade, with your superior roll, you also hear what almost sounds like a slurping noise.
I don't like that. Sounds like some kind of slathering animal.
I'm sorry, what now?
I mean that literally, like a beast.
I just start trying to hear things. Like, what?
You can make a second check if you want.
I don't think I'd bother.
I think I will.
I gotta, like, you. The DM said, okay, no, it's not gonna help. That's 7.
12.
Okay. Okay. So you do hear something. You're just having a hard time making out exactly what it is. However, you begin to see shadows moving in the torchlight a little bit, just flickering here and there, and you see what looks like some sort of quadrupedal creature. Anu, you and Masquerade, because you had better rolls, would know that this looks almost humanoid.
Okay, so I'm just gonna dip to a knee and, like, tell Angelique to, like, climb up piggyback style and hold on tight.
So she will climb up onto you, and that's when you see the shadow come out from the shadows, and it looks like a human. It looks like a man, very gaunt. His skin is pulled tight and almost ripping from how tight it is, maybe rotting. It smells rancid, and you see that his jaw is open, almost like a unhinged, and this long salivating tongue with this black ichor dripping from it is just almost flicking like a snake back and forth. And it doesn't even seem to notice you, and the guards stand back. What is that? And the thing lunges and just tackles one of them, and the man begins screaming with these blood-curdling, horrific screams as the creature tears his throat out with its tongue, which you now can see it has these like barbs on the end of its tongue. And the other one begins running, and it lopes almost like a wolf a little bit and pounces. And it knocks him to the ground. And you see that the man is like clawing on the floor, and the creature just bites onto his head and tears it from his body, and blood sprays all over the floor. And it then begins like digging with its tongue inside and begin pulling what looks like meat out of it.
Even, can you turn it down a little bit?
Yes, I can. How's that?
Still loud.
How's that?
Still loud.
Oh, I see. This is where it's at. That's what we need. How's
Much
that?
better, thank you.
Sorry, still getting used to Sirenscape. So, yes, that's what you see. And this creature just seems to be eating now from this corpse. And after a moment of just tearing through it, it lopes off into another part of the prison.
So what are the odds we get blamed for that too?
Most likely.
I don't see how we could have done it. I say, like, pointing to the neck situation.
You're clearly unfamiliar with the concept of a scapegoat.
Oh no. I'm definitely not getting any donations for the orphanage now.
Probably not.
So, thoughts?
What was that?
Oh, I have no idea. Just hang on tight and don't let go.
She just like clenches really firmly. And you hear a second set of padded footsteps coming through the prison. And you see very quickly another one of these creatures appears. And this one looks toward your cell. And when it lunges, it rattles against the bars because it can't get through. And it jumps several times, trying to grab through the bars and reaches in to try to claw at all of you. How are you responding to this?
Okay. So I am not going to waste any time and mess around. I'm just gonna cut it with words and hit it with vicious mockery.
Okay.
I have been on some horrible dates, but your breath would knock a buzzard off a shit wagon. Now, that's a cantrip. What do I roll to actually hit with that?
It needs to make a focus saving throw, actually.
Focus saving.
Yes, a focus saving throw. So these things don't have great focus, and that is an 8 on the die with a minus modifier. So yeah, you succeed.
All right.
So go ahead and roll your damage.
That is 1d4 damage. That hits him for 2.
2. All right. So, Wisp, how does it manifest when you use your magic? What does that look like?
Rainbow glitter for the most part.
Okay, so you guys see as Wisp delivers this cutting, vicious insult to it, you see its eyes sort of flash with this burst of glittery lights, and it goes and it flicks its head back to the point that if it were a normal human, its neck would have snapped. And then you see as it sort of rights its head, and it hisses at you with this feral. And I need everybody to roll a readiness check for initiative.
I nat ones.
At
Okay.
12.
11.
Okay.
13.
13. Okay. So, sorry, I gotta get the notepad up here, because that's a thing I knew to grab and did not. So, we have 13. Did anybody get higher than 13? And then 11 was Anu, right?
Yes.
And then what did Nim get again?
I got 11.
11. Oh, right, and you have a negative modifier. I remember that from last time. And so then Masquerade is going to be going last. All right, so Zombie is up first, and Wisp, you are on deck. So the zombie sees you do this, and it seems almost as affronted as a zombie can be. And it once again pounces at the bars. Okay. And this time when it hits the door, it rattles and you see the bars bend a little bit.
Oh dear,
Oh,
is all I
crap.
say.
And that's its round. So, Wisp, what are you doing?
All right, give me 1 second here. So, how big is this room, out of curiosity?
So, your cell is 20 feet by 20 feet. So, it's designed for multiple people. There's a little bench. There is a chamber pot in the corner. There's not a lot else.
Unfortunately, most of the stuff I have at my disposal, and we don't have our weapons, do we?
You do not have your weapons.
Yeah, unfortunately, most of what I've got at my disposal is area of effect, and I'm afraid I'm gonna hit everybody else with it.
Okay.
Position it in the cell across from ours.
Give me 1 second here. Nope. Unfortunately,
Oh.
Actually, hold on. I can. Ooh. Okay. Good. Okay. Because Thunder Wave has to originate from me as a center point. Earth Tremor does not.
Okay.
So that is a dexterity saving throw on the zombie.
Okay, so I'm going to roll reflex for him.
And actually, I'm gonna center it a little bit back from him, and it's got a 10-foot range. Any chance that'll hit both of them?
The other one is further back into the dungeon, like it's in another part of the dungeon, and is not really your concern at the moment.
Right,
at the moment. So he got a 10 plus 2.
So, and what do you need from me for that? I'm just.
So your spell save DC.
Which is where? I'm really sorry.
No, you're okay. So your determination is at a 14, correct?
Yes.
So that means you have a +2, and you get another +2 from your proficiency bonus. And it's a base of 8, so that's a total of 12. So it's a DC 12. He got a 12 and meets beats.
Okay.
So so he succeeded at the saving throw. Does it have any sort of effects that would go into play in spite of him succeeding?
If the ground in the area is loose earth or stone, it becomes difficult terrain until cleared. That's going to be the only thing that happens if it didn't actually hit him.
Okay, so you guys see Wisp kneel down and mutter something, and you see this glittery light snake in between the cracks of the stone, and as it explodes, it's like the earth itself juts up in these spikes that make a difficult area. But the zombie, this particular undead, seems unusually lithe for what it is, and leaps back and sort of attaches to the wall. And it's staring with this flicking tongue still, and it's glaring right at you, Wisp.
So we don't have our weapons, right?
You don't have your weapons.
Right. But I do have my thieves tools to unlock the cage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I want to try and lock it in the cage while getting out. So I want to unlock the door while jumping up and holding onto the bars.
Okay.
What would that be?
That would be a thievery check, and you would make that at disadvantage because you're trying to do it in an awkward way.
Okay. Thievery check. All right. I got. What is it? -1 then?
So you roll twice and take the lower.
Yeah, you roll twice and you take the lower result.
Oh, all right. It's 19.
19.
Well, because my thievery is +3. I got a 16 and an 18, and then a +3.
Wow. Okay, you're just kind of hook your arm around and pretty easily get to it. And the lock clicks, and you can now open and close the door at will.
All right, I open the door and
Okay. It is noticing you, and more importantly, it is noticing a path to Wisp through this doorway. But it's not its
loving
turn.
you right now.
So, Nim, what are you doing?
Okay, so this is way out of my comfort zone, and Nim is just trying to be as productive and helpful as possible in this situation while still knowing that there is functionally nothing she can do. So she is going to kind of search out the cell to see if there's like another tunnel they can go through, because she's like, if there's one tunnel in the castle, maybe there's more, and she just wants to find a different way out so maybe that they can get away from that zombie situation.
Okay. Make a perception investigation roll.
18 plus 3?
18 plus 3. Okay, you would remember that you did hear what sounded very similar to the noise when that hearth lifted up, coming from deeper within the dungeon, whenever this thing first appeared.
Mm-hmm. Do I have an idea of, like, the direction it came from?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. But we probably, like, I could probably, like, look in that direction, but if I'm still in the cell, like, there's not a whole lot I can do to get to that direction, right? Like,
Right. You'll have to exit the cell first.
Okay. Okay, so I tell everybody, I think that there's another way out. It's that way, and I point at whatever direction it happens to be.
Okay.
And I said, I can't lead us there, but I can show you where it is if, somebody is a little stouter of heart and muscle.
Okay, so that brings us to Masquerade.
Yeah, guess who's a monk and doesn't need weapons?
Yeah?
So, I'm just gonna go right for it. I wanna, like, grab this thing by the head and, like, slam it into the bars.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
17.
17 will absolutely hit.
Okay, and I believe that monk unarmed damage at level 1 is a d4.
Mm-hmm. Plus your prowess.
Yes. So it's gonna be 7.
7, okay. How do you want to kill this?
Oh, I'm just gonna pop its head against the bars. I'm just gonna grab it and, like, slam it into the metal and watch it pop like a melon.
Okay, so you guys watch as Masquerade grabs this thing by its cranium and smashes it into the bars, and the entire face just crunches as it's halfway in the bars at this point.
I'm gonna drop it, and I'm gonna be like, alright, now you said something about a way out.
Absolutely, follow me!
So, you guys exit the cell, and as you are exiting the cell, you see the thing's neck sort of cricks and rips, and the creature has pulled itself free from the bars and begins loping towards you once again.
I'm locking that door.
Let's get it on the other side of it first.
Oh, yes.
So it is its turn, because we're still in initiative order.
Oh! Never seen him do that before.
So it lunges at Wisp. Wisp, what is your armor class?
Let's see. Get that pulled up. My armor class is 14.
It got a 13. So this creature lunges for Wisp, and you watch as this fawn just deftly twirls out of the way. And the creature lands on the other side and is now between you and the way you need to go.
Okay.
It's Wisp's turn.
So, hold on. I'm just trying to think. When you say this thing is now between us and the way we need to go, hold on. Let me just see something here. I don't think I want to burn the last of my spell points if I can help it.
You do also see that it has that lockbox that they put your weapons and armors in is behind it.
Oh, well. That's worth killing you for. So. I think I'm just gonna hit it with Vicious Mockery again.
Okay. Okay, so it will make a saving throw. And that is an 11, and you have a 12. So
Yes.
go ahead and roll damage.
All right. Hold on. I got to think of what I'm going to say to it. You just don't know how to take a no, do you? This is the worst date I've ever been on. I've had enough. That's a 1.
That's a 1. Okay,
Yeah.
so 1 psychic damage. So you guys see as this glitter, once again, just this glittering light, psst, and the creature starts to try to shamble towards you, and as it approaches you, it just collapses into you. And it is dead. It is really dead this time.
I just clap
it. Yeah. I think that is legitimately unnerving, but I'm not going to say that because I don't want to panic Angelique.
Wisp.
I'm going to take a bow and then go to the lockbox.
Wisp, also make a wit arcana check for me, please.
Oh, okay.
It's not a perception check this time.
Yes, I know. Arcana, so that would be a 14.
Okay, you know that when it comes to monsters, you have to kill them with silver or magic, or they come back.
Gotcha. So, what I will say to Masquerade is, you did an admirable job, but physical brute force will not put these things down for good.
Well, that's unfortunate. So, teamwork.
Works for me. Lockbox, please.
I'm on it.
Thank you, Anu.
Oh, I'm gonna use my inspiration throw.
Okay.
What did you roll?
A 1.
Oh my. That's probably good, because then I would get a free complication.
All right, that wasn't any better. I got a 6.
A 6. Okay. So, you're having a hard time with this lock, but you don't break your lock picks. And right about now, I'm going to insert a complication anyway. So, take an inspiration and give one out, Anu.
All right. Well, I'm the only one who used the inspiration. But I'll give it to Wisp.
Okay. So, Wisp and Anu, you see, as you're kind of just fiddling with this lockbox, you happen to glance to the right, and you notice that other one, the first one you saw, pads its way back around. And it is now facing you.
You work on that box. You and I need to soften this thing.
You guys
And
ever
so-
seen Leverage?
We will keep the same initiative order, except I will have it re-roll because this is a new one. And it is a good thing I re-rolled because it is now going under Masquerade. So, Wisp, you're up first.
All right. You know what? We're gonna go for. Well, screw it. We're gonna go for Earth Tremor on this one again. So I need a Dex saving throw from that.
Okay. Ooh, 17 on the die. That will definitely
for
make it.
God's sake. So now it's just jagged ground underneath him again.
All right.
Sons of. I'm out of spell points. Lovely.
And it is now, let me pull up my little notepad. It is Anu. Anu, what are you doing?
I'm opening the lockbox.
Okay, go ahead and make another roll.
20.
20! That will succeed. So you pop it open. You find that not only is your gear stored in here, it seems there are some confiscated items in here as well.
Oh, joy.
They seem to have placed the silver rapier in the lockbox as evidence. And you also see a blue viscous liquid with what looks like sparkles in it. And it has this very faint sort of vroom, vroom, has a glow to it.
So who's good with the rapier? Alright, I'm gonna toss the rapier to Wisp.
So I now have a silver one.
Yes, you have a silvered rapier.
Yes.
And we also have this blue liquid. I don't know what it is, but I feel like maybe the monk knows what it is.
It'll kill you if you drink it.
Oh, that sounds like fun. You want to handle it?
Sure.
All right, I give the blue bottle to Masquerade.
Okay.
I will hold on to this for the moment. Actually, probably gonna pass that to Wisp as well because
I will happily take it. It's sparkly and pretty.
yeah, just be careful.
Okay.
It
And
won't kill you, but it'll probably fuck you up.
Duly noted. Oh, see, silver rapier, same damage stats as a normal rapier, just different material or different
Yes.
damage. Okay. Good.
same damage, just this one works on monsters. So now it's going to be Nim's turn. Nim, what are you doing?
So I am trying to be helpful still, while fully acknowledging that I am not a fighter, but when my words are needed, I am there for everyone. So I'm just kind of wringing my hands, looking around and saying, okay guys, we need to go this way. So I want to kind of investigate the pathway that we're going to be taking just to make sure that there's no more like snarly zombie characters that are going to come out of the woodwork. Would I be able to see, like, just kind of looking down the direction where they came from, if there's anything else that would be coming our way?
Absolutely. Make a perception investigation check.
14.
14. In fact, you do see a third shadow moving the way you are going.
I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to be a downer, everyone. Everyone is working so hard, and you are doing fantastic, and I really appreciate it. However, I think somebody is trying to join the party, and by party, I mean I think something else wants to eat us.
I have a hypothesis.
Can it wait?
Okay, so Masquerade, it is your turn. So what are you going to be doing?
Crushing another zombie head.
Okay.
And probably gonna try to drop this thing at Wisp's feet for easy stab access, but
Okay.
does a 12 hit?
A 12 does hit.
Excellent. 6 this time.
6. Okay. So it takes 6 damage. Alright. Cool. So 6 damage. It is now its turn, and this one is going to lunge at you. Oh my gosh, that's a Nerdarchian right there.
Alright.
You know what that means.
Oh, I do.
And the way we do crits is you max the damage and then you roll it again. That works for players and monsters alike. So,
Yep.
yeah, so this thing is going to do 6 plus 3 plus 1 for a total of
I'm down.
10. So you guys watch as this zombie just jumps onto Masquerade and its tongue wraps around her neck or their neck and it begins
Can I throw Angelique clear as a reaction?
Yes, you can throw Angelique
Okay.
clear. So Angelique is thrown away. That sounds terrible, but she's thrown away out of danger. And this barbed tongue with this black ichor wraps around Masquerade's neck. And you see them as you hear the burbling, you hear crunching, and their body goes limp. And it is Wisp's turn. Wisp, what are you doing?
I'm stabbing the crap out of this thing. What are you kidding?
All right.
All right, let's go. Oh my god.
What'd you get?
That's a nat 1.
You do have a save.
You do have that inspiration.
I'm gonna spend an inspiration to have that not happen.
Okay.
That's only slightly not. That's only slightly better. That's. Hold on. If that. So that's a 5.
A 5. Okay.
It's not a nat 1, so I'll take it.
What is it total?
That's that I rolled a 3, so that's with. It's a 5 with my prowess modifier.
Did you add your proficiency as well?
Oh,
So that'll make it a 7. That still doesn't hit, but you do
Yeah.
get your proficiency with that because you are proficient with it.
yes, that's true. I am. So
So-
yes, that's 7 total.
Okay. So it misses. You lunge for it, and the thing whips its tongue away from her neck or their neck. So that's something, right?
That's a start.
And so then it jumps backwards, and it is now going to be Anu's turn.
Are my crossbow tips silver?
They are not.
Oh, that's lame. I don't have anything. I'm gonna say my knife. I feel like I don't have any silver weapons, do I?
You don't have any silver weapons, no.
No. Alright. No healing. But does hitting them slow them down?
Yes, it does.
Okay, then I'm going to attack with my crossbows.
Okay. Make that attack roll. And actually, you use hand crossbows, so you can use a bonus action to attack again, too.
Okay. I got... And I add a prowess and a proficiency.
Yep.
That's 14.
That hits.
Okay. And then I do my damage roll. Crossbows D. Oh, okay. That's a 7.
A 7. Okay. So, 7 damage, you said?
Yeah, 7 damage.
Okay. How do you want to kill it?
Shot to the head.
Okay, so you see this crossbow bolt release from Anu's hand crossbow and right through its head. And it slumps.
Like double tap.
Double tap. I
And
can't shoot it in.
yeah, you can shoot again if you want to.
Well, I was gonna say, are we still in combat order, waiting for it to come back?
Yep.
Okay.
I forget. I just realized I have a +3 for my hit. I didn't add that last time. It's fine.
That's
Alright.
your total hit.
Oh, that's my total to hit.
Yeah.
So that would be my proficiency, right?
That's your proficiency and your prowess together.
Okay, I got you. All right, I will add that. All right, I got a 12.
A 12. Okay. So you still hit.
Okay.
So roll your damage.
I got a 2.
You got a 2. It's enough to slow it down. So you see another pop and more of this black viscous ichor just spurts out from it. And the creature goes limper. So it's a little even more relaxed. And that brings us to Nim.
I'm going to sprint over to Masquerade and try to pull Masquerade kind of off to the side. Make sure that they're okay or can be pulled and it's not going to be a problem, but I just want to get them out of the way of any potential danger. Just make sure that they're going to be okay, although I am not super strong by any means, and as I understand it, Masquerade is quite tall, so this might look a little comical.
It might look a little comical, but you do succeed. You don't have to roll for it.
Okay.
Quite tall, but also built like a scarecrow, so...
And actually...
And I am stout.
Nim, you can make a medicine check for me if you want. That is wit.
Okay. 18 plus 3.
18 plus 3. Okay. You would immediately notice, and you, because of your roll that is super good, you would have encountered this at some point in your past. These creatures, undead in general, they tend to be contagious if they manage to drop somebody. So you do see that where the cloth has been ripped away from the neck, the veins are darkening very quickly. But you also see something interesting because Masquerade is unconscious. The fingertips and the neck are white, like ghostly white. And Masquerade's fingertips, if you recall, are actually quite dark-skinned.
Okay. I make note of all of this, and I'm going to tell everyone as soon as it's calm enough and we're not still fighting a zombie thing.
Okay.
Or I'm just going to shout out, like, I have something to tell you when there's time!
Okay. Masquerade.
The last person that did that ended up dying, just so you know.
Masquerade, I need a death saving throw from you.
That's passed.
Okay, so you pass. And we're back at Wisp again. This creature has not moved in spite of the fact its turn came. So you suspect Anu bought you around with the extra hit.
Do I still have to roll to hit it, or can we consider it some equivalent of prone?
You can coup de grace the thing if you want.
Oh, yes.
So describe how you do this.
I'm stabbing it through the damn eye.
Okay. So, Wisp, you stab it through the eye, and you notice that the silver, it almost looks like the black ichor turns just a little bit silver on the edges as the entire body begins rotting even more. And the thing begins just almost flecking into bits of ash around where the wound has taken place. And its body remains truly and completely limp.
Lovely.
Okay. Can I ask if that third one that I spotted, is it ambling our way at this point?
You turn, and you do in fact see the third one seems to be approaching because of the noise.
Awesome.
And I'm going to roll for its initiative. And it goes in between Nim and Masquerade.
I take it that's the way we need to go.
So, Anu, you're up.
I'm gonna double shot it.
Okay.
19.
19 will definitely hit.
5.
5. Okay, it takes 5 damage. You watch as Anu peeks around this corner. Pop. Actually, because you're peeking around a corner, add your sneak attack.
Okay. Wait, what's sneak attack?
2d6.
2d6. Oh, 2d6.
Yep.
Okay. 3. Nope, don't fall off. 9.
9 more?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys watch as Anu peeks around and releases this crossbow bolt, and how do you kill it?
I'm gonna go for the heart this time.
Okay, so you see just right through the heart, and it drops. And it is Nim's turn. Nim, what are you doing?
I'm trying to make sure that Masquerade has space and is not in the way, but I'm also standing between Masquerade and Angelique, who is well, I don't know what Angelique is doing, but I'm assuming that Angelique might want to get close since they are buddies of a sort, and I just want to make sure that she doesn't get too close because I know what's going down.
Angelique has been cowering in the corner ever since Masquerade first threw her.
Okay.
So she is just staring wide-eyed. These tears are just pouring from her cheeks without any sobs actually coming out.
Okay.
Just abject terror. And so with that, we are going to the zombie, which is going to try to go for probably a new. That is an 18 on the die, plus 3, so that's 21 to hit. So,
My armor class is 11.
Yes. Okay. For 1 + 1, 2 damage. So this creature leaps for you, and you sort of dodge around the corner a bit, but it still gashes your upper arm as it's passing by. And it lands, so now it can see all of you. And its tongue just continues flicking back and forth this. And Masquerade, another death save, please.
That's another pass.
All right, so Masquerade has saved twice. And Wisp, it's your turn. This zombie is right in front of you now.
I'm stabbing it, and I'm gonna try a different die this time.
Okay.
So, that was. So that's a 15.
15. That will definitely hit.
In the mouth.
In the mouth. Oh my.
I know you think you're impressive with that tongue, but no means no.
And what did you get for damage?
Let's see here. Checking what I have to roll. 1d8. Here we go. 7.
7. How do you kill this thing? You just kill it in the mouth?
Right in the mouth, and I'll twist it while it's
Yes! I was like, twist it!
All right, you twist it, and there's a spurt of black ichor that just all over your good dancing clothes.
That's nasty.
Still not the worst audience I've ever had.
And you guys are now free and clear. Masquerade, go ahead and make your last death save if you succeed. Otherwise, it's more than 1.
No, that's a fail.
Okay, so make another one.
That one is a pass.
All right, so Masquerade, you start coming to, and now I need you to make a stamina saving throw for me.
Oh, good. 13.
13. So, Nim, you watch as Masquerade's head sort of rolls a little bit, and you hear this breath release. And the blackening veins sort of gray out until after several seconds, they're just not really distinguishable from other veins.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do I know that this is a good sign or a bad sign?
You would think it's a good sign.
Okay. I would think that. I don't like that phrasing, sir. All right, everybody. I think maybe we're out of the woods here. So I am not a doctor, but I've seen some things in the medical field, and I just want you to know that it looks like our friend here may have become one of them, but it seems it's okay now. And I just kind of say that with a question mark.
You do notice the skin is still white.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Masquerade, go ahead.
Yeah.
Like, no, I am definitely not one of them. And I'm like flexing my fingers and the color's slowly coming back to them as I push to my feet.
Okay.
All right, I say, and I'm like, okay, I think we're gonna be okay. Okay.
What happened? Is everyone all right, Angelique?
And you see the sobbing young lady just immediately jumps to her feet. You all right? And she just grabs you in this big hug.
Hey, you know it's gonna take more than that.
I thought you were gone.
No. Just down for a minute, but when you get knocked down, you never stay there.
Of course. I'll remember. Where are we going from here?
Oh yeah, my hypothesis. I think that the other door is where these things are coming from.
So do we not want to try and go out that way then?
I think if we do, we need to be prepared for a fight.
How confident is anybody that if we go in the direction that's just going to put us right in front of guards, that they will believe us that none of this is our fault?
I proceed to pick up one of the dead zombies and haul it over my shoulder.
Okay.
I'm not sure where we would have gotten these from.
That is a very good point.
Evidence as long as it doesn't disintegrate.
Why would you say that?
Have you seen the thing's blood?
Yeah, I know, but the gods are listening.
Okay.
Oh, yes, they are.
No one roll a nat 1 until somebody has seen the zombie.
So you guys are exiting the way you came in?
Yep, sounds like it.
Okay.
All right.
So, you guys are going along, and you come to that big heavy door that was locked from the outside that you came through in the first place.
I've instructed Angelique to, hold on to my sleeve to the point that I can feel it so that if somebody tries to take her again, I will know.
Okay.
The paranoia is real right now.
Okay.
I'm going to assume this door is still locked.
The door is still locked, in fact.
Let's go with my sticky fingers.
Okay.
21.
21. Okay. So you easily just click this lock open. No issues.
But I casually push it open and peek.
Okay, so you push it open and you peek. And you don't see any other guards. It seems the guards that were coming to chastise you were the guards for the evening for this area.
But we're in the clear, and I throw the door open wide.
Okay. So you open the door and you find yourselves in this big open room where the prison sort of admits people from the castle. It doesn't seem like a normal everyday sort of prison entrance. This seems to be a place where they care about the paperwork and they want to know who's here when. There are cabinets that hold files and things like that. And you see that there is another heavy door that leads into what you remember as the castle proper.
As far as the paperwork that you said that was out, is everything filed away, or is there stuff on a desk or something?
There is actually stuff on the desk right now because they were doing paperwork on all of you.
Do I see whatever paperwork they had on me?
Yes, you do, in fact. It is half finished. And you see that there's a lot of judgmental language used.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take that.
Okay.
Give me mine.
I'll hand you yours. Anyone else while I'm here?
I'll take a look, see?
All right.
There isn't
Just
actually one on Nim.
Oh.
They hadn't gotten to her yet. They got about halfway through yours. They got all the way through Anu, and they got all the way through Masquerade. They had not done Angelique or Nim.
Okay, good.
No criminal record.
They got all the way through me? Of course they did.
Mm-hmm. Seems they went through you first.
I have to keep my stuff about me, so this is going right in my pocket.
Yeah, gonna fold that up and ferret it into an interior pocket in one of my big poopy sleeves.
I'm just crumpling mine up and like stuffing it in the vest very haphazardly. I do not care about the condition of this thing.
So you guys easily make your way into the main part of the castle. Anu is just too good at picking locks. And you find yourselves in what seems to be a fairly abandoned section of the castle. This is further from the ballrooms. It seems that this is where a lot of the storerooms, the kitchen would be back here, things of that nature. So this is where a lot of the utility of the palace is held.
I am just generally confused about the state of the evening. I assumed that I was going to a fancy party to eat cheese, and here we are. So I'm just going to start asking some questions. So what do we do now? Where are we going? I came here to get some donations for the orphanage, and that seems to not be possible anymore. Unless you all want to donate, those orphans could really use some new toys. But I understand if, tonight is not the night, but where should we go? What are we doing?
I'm just looking for an innocuous way out because I'm considering this gig a bust at this point. I don't know about the rest of you.
I feel like if I stay, I'm going to get killed or turned into a servant, and that's no go for me.
I think I need to get her home, and home is a pretty far way off. So if you guys are looking to hightail it out of the city, you gotta ride.
Works for me.
And I do mean that figuratively. I'm pretty sure that we can't take a carriage because everybody's going to be looking for us.
You hear that?
Oh, that again.
Did we all hear that?
Yes, you do.
This thing about this thing, I hear something. I'm like, is that in my house or is that in?
Zombie over one shoulder. I'm gonna take Angelique's hand with the other hand and just wait for it.
I'm looking around trying to figure out where it's coming from.
I'm prepping my crossbow.
It seems that this probably came from the kitchen.
Odds are pretty good that it's the same person using all of those to get around, and that's the same person that was doing the mind hijacking, and if we catch them, we're scot-free.
All right, well, everyone gird your minds. Who wants to go first?
I'll go if somebody will watch Angelique.
I grab Angelique's hand. Come on,
Okay,
sweetheart,
good.
Here we go.
I trust you, because I know you're not going to get into a fight, and I will
Nope.
head forward. Like, in Dishonored, when you, drop the bodies in the dumpster, I'm just gonna, toss the zombie body down for a minute, and I'll come back for it later.
So, who's going in first to the kitchen? All right, Masquerade. I need you to make a perception investigation roll for me. 17. You enter this kitchen and you find that there are still bubbling pots of soups. The ovens are still embering. The stovetops still have flickering flames. It seems like this kitchen was abandoned recently and quickly without any sort of attention to taking care of the food.
perhaps when a certain chandelier went crashing.
Perhaps. But something has definitely happened that has caused the people of this part of the castle to evacuate. You see, as you continue, you just hear the burbling of the soups in sort of your periphery. And you smell something that doesn't quite smell like the aromatic foods that you've been used to this whole time.
Wonderful.
It smells rather rancid. And
Pick up a meat cleaver.
you pick up a meat cleaver. Okay.
Yeah.
And you round this area that separates sort of the stoves and the lesser heavy duty cooking areas from the bigger oven. And you see a woman dressed in very fine cook's garb. Her throat has been torn open, and you see like chunks just flopped outside. And there are gashes along the wall, like claw marks.
Do I hear any scrapey, crawly noises?
You don't right now.
Guys, look alive. We've got another deader.
Enjoy.
You do notice that her veins around her neck area and in her arms are very dark.
And, hey, Wisp.
Hmm?
Come here.
I shall do so.
I'm like trying to say so in the calmest tone possible because again, I don't want to spook Angelique, but I'm gonna like point. Like that one, probably not gonna stay down for long.
Oh, okay. I'll just casually stab it in the neck.
Okay, you do so just as the head starts to... And you just instinctively stab it. And you see that once again, the blood that was black has sort of silvered, and the area around the wound begins to sort of turn to ash and fleck away a little bit as it just slumps back down.
Huh. Oh. Didn't plan on this becoming my side gig, but okay.
Well, you are good at it.
Thank you. Anyone else in the area?
There is no one else in the immediate area. You do see that there's food still on the table, some of them half platters that were being arranged at present. You see these little fried things with sticks in them and something green on top.
I'm taking
It is
some of
chocolatey and sweet and delicious.
I'm grabbing some charcuterie.
You got like this crispy outside and then this mushy, chocolatey, creamy inside.
that.
Open one of the pouches, get some of the bougie food. We don't know when we're next going to get some of that.
Yeah, I run over there and I fill up my
Oh,
apron pockets with
Christ.
snacks and such.
Oh, we lost us Anita.
It's just the video. I don't
Oh.
know why.
Did you
Okay.
press space?
No, I didn't. It just my camera will cut out sometimes.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, that happens.
Yeah. All right, well, you guys get your fill of bougie food. You can find small sandwiches. You can also find entire entrees that were meant to be served later in the evening. And
Ooh,
you
cheese
realize
balls.
right around now, it's conspicuously quiet in this part of the palace.
Oh, yeah, did we ever find where that stone on stone sound was coming from here in the kitchen?
The what now? Oh, I forgot about that. No. No.
We should investigate. Yeah.
Alright, we'll look quickly, and if we can't find it, we'll continue on our way. We shouldn't stay in one spot for too long.
I'll roll on that. That's a 9 on investigation for me.
Okay.
That's a 12 for me.
All
12.
right. 12. So, did Masquerade roll?
At an 11, it wasn't as good as
11.
theirs.
Nim and Anu, you notice it's almost like a joint effort a little bit. You see that this metal prong that holds up a rack in the oven seems to be tilted a bit. But you'd have to like reach in the oven, which is normally burning hot, to do anything with it.
I look around for some sort of towel or pot holder sort of situation, or maybe just like a really long spatula. I don't know if spatulas are consistent with the chronology of this world, but I feel like they'd have kitchen utensils of some kind.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you can pretty easily find a towel to just guard your hand with.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to do that, and I want to open up the oven, and, or I guess if it's open, like, already, just...
Yeah, it's a big open oven. It's a big open space, and there's, like, kindling, and there's a rack. And
okay, I want to see if I can
rack.
Get the thing, or touch the thing and see if it does a thing.
Okay.
Is that clear at all? No.
Yes, it is. So you reach in with this towel guarding your hand, and it's vaguely warm. It's not hot anymore. And you realize that when you push it, it clicks loudly, much as that desk did. And a stone shelf that is next to the oven begins sliding over as you trigger this secret door.
I say, ready, comrades! And I hold on to Angelique's hand a little bit tighter.
Tally ho!
You guys find yourselves in a very similar situation as to last week's adventure, where you are in these hallways that have branch-off points, and there are torches lining the place. So you begin walking, and you realize that unlike the last corridor, this one has claw marks in it. In the different walls and on the floors. It almost looks like sporadic, though. You can see trails where it seems to have come from. You delve deeper, and you notice at one point that one of the outlets goes to a stairway down where there is not another part of the palace.
They're everywhere.
Does it look like there's torches down that stairway, or is it just darkness?
It is darkness down this way. And you do see claw marks on the walls coming from this way.
So we
Don't care for the look of that.
Same. It looks like that's where they're coming from.
Was there another way to go besides that?
There are other ways. You can go into other rooms of the palace, much as you could previously, where there are outlets to, like, secret peeking holes and things of that nature. In fact, you see an alternate area that connects back to that room where you found Angelique in the first place, but it's not the same hallway you came from. It's on, like, a kitty corner wall.
So what do we want to do?
We can either focus on getting out or we can focus on finding the guy.
I mean, it's not a very satisfying story if we don't know who he was or why he did it. Just saying.
Oh, go ahead.
No, please go on.
If we know the culprit, then we at least can clear Angelique's name.
That is always going to be my priority, but her safety comes first, and if you would prefer to get out before that, I'm okay with it if that's what you guys want to do, but if we're going to look for him, it should be anonymous. Anu, what do you think? Unanimous. Why did I say anonymous?
Well, depends. We could lose his trail now, or we could find a way to keep their trail and get out safely and then find it again.
Well, I mean, given how busy the castle is, how confident are you we're going to be able to get back in here and pick up the trail again?
I mean, I got in here in general. Their guards are really sloppy.
We are not all quite so sneaky as you.
That is fair.
And even taking that into account, if we're not here for long enough, just general milling about by other people is going to kill whatever trail there is.
So follow?
I'm inclined.
It's the only way to clear Angelique's name and all our names, and I have donations to secure, which I cannot secure until people know that I didn't do any of this.
Nim, you are a precious bean. I'm going to start looking for a trail to pick up.
Okay.
21 investigation?
You do, in fact, notice that this part of the castle seems conspicuously less clean, almost like there was less care given, or maybe they didn't think you were ever going to find it in the first place. Who knows? But the torches that do line the walls but are not lit do have drippage. And that drippage has been allowed to leak to the point that there are some footsteps that seem to have gone down here, or rather, they seem to have come up from here.
Oh, from the stairway, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Can I just go ahead and send some dancing lights down the stairs a little bit just to see if we can make anything out without having to go down?
Absolutely. That is totally something you can do.
Yes, I would very much like to do that.
All right. So you see these 3 orbs of light, this glittering, flickering, almost pyrotechnic effect, just begin orbiting Wisp's hand, and they trail down the spiraling stairway. And while you see more claw marks and some more footprints that go both directions, you don't see much else without actually properly following that trail.
And no sounds of reaction. I don't hear any voices going, hey, where the hell did that light come from? Or anything like that.
You don't.
Nuts.
Yeah, I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So you guys go, I presume, sneakily.
Yeah.
Everyone go ahead and make a prowess stealth roll for me, please.
We use inspiration.
You absolutely may use inspiration.
I'm going to use
13.
inspiration.
13. Okay.
11.
11.
21.
21.
Oh.
2. Okay. So, you begin sneaking down the stairway. You guys realize very quickly Nim is much less stealthy than the rest of you, with her clomping footsteps on this stone floor.
I have hooves and I'm quieter than you. How is that possible?
I'm sorry. I'm very nervous right now. I don't do this.
Get on someone's shoulders.
I sigh and get down on a knee.
And I'm like super awkward, like, I don't, okay. And then I'm just kind of like making you firemen's carry me in the most ridiculous of manners.
All right, and like, again, it's like with the zombie, except it's Nim and not a zombie, and it's like Angelique's hand, Nim.
So you guys make your way down this stairway, and eventually it opens up into this rather gruesome sort of area. In fact, you would almost think it were a torture chamber at first glance. There are tables with manacles and leather straps. There are cages with spikes on the inside. Off to the left, you see what looks like almost an alchemy station or something, with things pickled in jars on a shelf to the side. And it seems that while not currently brewing, there have recently been chemicals being made and sort of mucked up in this area. You do see a large tube, a glass tube of this black, viscous, inky stuff that seems to be on the inside of on the inside of these zombies, and you hear screams in the distance.
The phrase that comes to mind is, "Your kink is not my kink."
There are outlets from this room. There are 3, one on each wall. And you do know that you are a good way down at this point. Like, you would be where the dungeon is, or maybe even below it.
How big is the cylinder?
The cylinder is about the size of a large, tall person. So it's quite full.
I'm going to imagine that touching that stuff is probably not a good idea.
No touchy.
I'm considering breaking it anyway, but it might be a little bit too hard to skirt around if we do.
Question, is there like an open top on the cylinder or anything like that?
It looks like there is, in fact, an open top, and it looks like there's a tube that comes down, and it's anchored on the back. And when you look at the anchor on the back, the tube goes into this metal device that has a long needle attached to it.
I'm just wondering, is there anything that I can climb up on where I could just stick the tip of the silver rapier into this thing?
You might be able to stick it into the hose. The hose is not hard. It seems to be some sort of rubbery material.
All right, I want to try that then.
Okay. So you stick the silver into the hole, and it begins spurting with this little trickling fountain of black viscous ooze.
Even better.
And it's a little bit silvery a bit, but it doesn't like corrupt the whole thing or anything of that nature.
Damn. Okay. You were on to me.
All right, 1, 2, or 3.
We hear any noises coming from distinctly one or the other? Or the other?
The screams don't seem to be coming from anywhere, and yet maybe coming from everywhere. You're not really sure. However, the claw marks continue to follow to the left. Straight and to the right, you notice that there is a distinct lack of claw marks. And the front way, the way straight ahead, is actually lit.
Oh,
by more
that
than
way.
just your dancing lights.
Oh, I like that.
To the
Okay.
light.
I'm sorry?
And so we're going to the light.
Yes.
Okay, you're going towards the light, and you realize this light is just ebbing with this very yellow hue to it. It's very distinctly and definitively this yellow, but it's not a yellow that would be pleasant. It's a very sickening, almost eerie sort of yellow that sends a chill up your spine. And as you walk down the corridor, I presume quietly, you hear shuffling of papers.
Bureaucrats.
The real villain.
And
You laugh when we're trying to be quiet.
and you feel this thunderous rumble as another stone on stone sound from up ahead.
I'm gonna move faster. I want to catch this as it opens.
Okay, so make a readiness check for me.
Oh, I'm not good at these. I nat 20'd.
Okay, so not only do you make it to catch the person, but you see a very clear look at their face. And the face of this person is someone you've never seen before. You tell me, who would you expect to see? Let's start there. Who would Mask expect to see? I guarantee this
probably
isn't them.
some shady vizier advisor guy, or maybe the twin from the bedroom.
You do not see the twin. You do not see anyone who's of noble birth. You notice they have a very fair skin with freckles. You see a little bit of red curly hair coming down. And as they walk through this secret passage, which has opened up behind this bookshelf, you catch their hood just catching in some sort of breeze or gust. And it catches enough that you see that their ears are long.
Okay. Is this gonna stay open long enough to like try and make a grab for him?
If you want to try and make a grab for him, you can certainly try with another readiness check.
Sure do.
You'll also need an acrobatics check if you succeed.
That's gonna be a 19 for the readiness check. This die loves me.
Okay, so go ahead and make an acrobatics check because you will need to jump over this ledge as this room is below you by about a story.
Okay, so that's gonna be 19 total in acrobatics, but I didn't roll a 19 that time. I just am proficient in acrobatics.
All right, so you do one of Anu's Batman flip landings, and you see that the person whirls, and you catch a very clear glimpse of the face now. And everyone else can now see because of Masquerade's excellent roll. And Anu, you would recognize this face.
Oh boy.
It is a dark elf, a very familiar dark elf who was worried about being scandalized.
Oh, I can't remember their name. I know it was the servant that pulled me up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, can't remember. Jean-Pierre.
Jean-Luc.
Jean-Luc.
And he just gasps and, "What are you doing here? You call this careful?"
What are you doing here?
And then you see he sort of cracks a half smile, like almost he was trying to hold it back. "I am serving my master."
Yep. I don't believe you.
"As will you." And you begin hearing this in the back of your head.
Into the wall, please.
And I need you to make a focus saving throw.
Me?
You.
Okay. Focus saving throw.
As you guys see his eyes flash with this very distinctive yellow light that matches the lighting in this room, which you now see is coming from these torches, these sconces on the wall that are alight with this yellow flickering fire.
I got a 9.
You got a 9. Okay. So, you guys see him look and begin mouthing something without actually saying anything directly to Anu.
Yeah,
And
I want to
need
bash his head into the brickwork,
everyone-
non-lethally.
Everyone to make a readiness check for initiative.
15.
18.
I think, yes.
10.
10. Okay, so...
Oh, well, it'd be 19 because plus 1.
Right.
8.
New, Nim. Then we have Wisp. And I need to roll for him real quick. Oh, he nat 20'd. Okay, this dice likes me tonight.
Oh.
All right, so Jean-Luc is at the ready. It's his turn. And you see he runs across the room. So he's not running into the tunnel that is now open, but he runs toward all of you to what looks like a lever that's been mounted onto the wall. And he reaches for it and cranks it. And when he does, the door begins closing back.
Okay,
And
but I'm in the tunnel because I chased after him and went over the gap, yes?
he's closing the tunnel he had opened and was going to go through.
Okay, so we're not in the tunnel then. We're all outside the tunnel.
Right. This is the one that he was going into that is the opposite one from the one you came through.
So we're all in the same room.
Yes, you are all in the same room.
Okay, just getting my bearings here.
Yep. Yes, you are all in the same room. And he pulls the lever, and that is going to be his action. And Anu turns, and you see her eyes are yellow. And the light that was once blue is now this sickly, eerie yellow. And she picks up her crossbow, and she aims it at, let me roll a d3. That is a 2, so that is Wisp. So she's aiming for you.
Can you turn this down a skosh again? I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, I certainly can. Is that better?
Yes.
Cool. I'm actually going to cut the undead rasps down real quick. So, there we go. And so she's going to fire at Wisp with a 10 total versus your armor class.
My armor class is 14, so.
Okay, so this arrow fires, and it seems that maybe Anu is fighting a little bit from the inside. And it misses. It goes wide, which you aren't used to seeing from her. Anu, make another focus saving throw.
9 again.
Okay, so then she is going to run up to Wisp, and for her bonus action, she is going to grab you by the shoulders and open her mouth, and you see this yellow vapor begin pouring from her mouth. And I need you to make a focus saving throw.
So that is a... that's a 20, not natural.
Okay, so Wisp,
20.
you instinctively just hold your breath, and this vapor passes over you and has no effect. And it is now Masquerade's turn. Masquerade, you watched this happen.
Yeah, and same thing that I keep repeating. I'm like gonna close that distance and do some non-lethal head bashing into a brick.
Okay. To Jean-Luc, I presume?
Yes.
Okay.
God, yes.
Just
I'm not
gotta
going
make
to attack
sure.
Anu. I like Anu. I swear to God. Like, that's a little hurt, but that's the 20.
Awesome.
Nice.
Okay. So you know what? I'm not even going to make you roll any damage because he doesn't have a lot of hit points. Just explain to me what happens.
Okay, I'm just gonna, like, leap and, like, catch him on the back and, like, ride him to the floor and just, like, whip his head against the flagstones.
Okay, that's easy enough to do, and he is immediately unconscious. And Anu, this light flickers, and her blue glowing eyes return from the sinister yellow, as this yellow smoke almost pours out like tears, but then floats up and dissipates.
Man, fuck that guy.
Does anybody have any rope?
I think I do.
Of course you do.
Let's tie him up.
I'm, like, going to continue to sit on him and allow you to do this. Like,
Do I need a roll to tie him up, or?
No, you can just do it.
All right. Let's tie him to the chair.
oh no. We need to carry this guy back upstairs so that he can tell everybody else the story of what happened.
Okay.
I'm also gonna, like, pull a handkerchief out of my sleeve, and, like, there are a couple other handkerchiefs tied to it clown style, because jester things. I'm gonna blindfold him.
Okay. Easy enough to do.
Put one around his mouth, too.
Just shove the spare in his mouth.
Easy enough to accomplish. So he is now very much incapacitated.
Cool.
And you guys are now finding yourselves in this laboratory. You see that on top of the desk that he was walking from, there are thick tomes, one of which is open. And it even has, like, pages that fold out in different directions. as though continuing notes and things.
I'm just saying this is probably all the evidence that we need.
Read it.
Do we have time to read it, or do we just want to grab it?
It's up to you.
Put a mark in there.
Okay. We're gonna dog ear it.
Okay.
No, we're not gonna dog ear it. Are you Satan?
I was gonna say, I mean, maybe
Chaotic
Anu
evil.
is chaotic evil. I mean, we are all writers here. Apparently, Sunita's a little bit chaotic evil. You know.
Or at least Anu is. I believe it out of Anu. But like, yeah, like, okay, so you do this in mask, just like hand over heart, like cannot, like absolutely scandalized.
So, yeah, you just close the book. You've got the book, you've got a mage, and you've got anything else you want to grab, basically.
Is there any silver in here?
You do, in fact, see multiple silver daggers mounted on the wall.
Can I grab one?
You can absolutely grab one.
Can I grab one as well?
Yes, you can.
I
Okay.
feel like it's probably a good idea for all of us to grab one.
Yeah, I grab one, but in the most awkward of ways, and I'm just kind of holding it like, well, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
There's
putting my
8.
apron.
There's 8
Oh,
total.
good. I grabbed 2 and hand one to Angelique.
Okay. She will
If you
take
can't find
it.
a way to conceal that, put it in your décolletage.
You see her just sort of shaking as she holds it, and she's like,
But not unsheathed.
this? I've never used this.
I will teach you. Just, if you see one of the undead ones on the floor, that is what you stab it with to make sure it doesn't get back up. You can stick it in your... Oh, you're right. Did I ever give her her shoes back? I give her her shoes back.
Okay, you give her her shoes back, easy enough to do.
Just hold it for now.
Alright,
Carry it point down, so that you don't stab yourself if you trip.
I see. And she kind of looks around for a place to put it, and then she grabs this leather belt off the table and just kind of attaches it and ties it around her waist.
Good, just like that. I flourish, and it's like up one of my sleeves.
So what do we do now?
Compare our names.
It was about at this time you would all notice the screaming upstairs, or rather the screaming from wherever it was coming from has died down.
Oh, I don't like that.
Is there anything else that looks like it might be just worth taking?
There is a mess of chemicals and concoctions in bottles on the table. You notice a few more of those blue ones.
I want to take one of those blue ones.
Okay. You also see something that's red, and this red one, you would, well, give me a medicine check.
Me?
Yeah,
Okay.
because you're the one checking them out.
Oh, yeah. I got 14.
14. Not hard to do. You'd recognize this is a healing potion.
Yes. I'm going to take that too.
You can find 3 of them in total.
All right. I'm
On
going to
this
take one. I'm going to Masquerade, health potion, and Wisp, health potion. And we're just going to have to guard Nim with our lives.
That's fair, I say. I appreciate it.
She seems least likely to end up in the fray anyway, so I think that makes sense.
So you guys get your potions together, and you... Where are you going from here, I guess? I should ask.
Well, the options are either back the way we came or to check out one of the other 2 doors. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Or you could try to open the door that he closed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he closed it real fast, as if to say there's something naughty back here that you shouldn't see.
There probably is. That's probably where the necromancer is. I probably have 1 hit point right now, but I guess I also have a healing potion, so not the most dramatic thing in the whole wide world if you guys want to go do this fight.
I don't want to say.
I kind of need to know at least what was back there.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's go.
So I'm assuming that the lever, you said he pulled the lever to close this?
Yes.
All right. Just move it to the opposite position he moved it to.
Easy enough to do, and that bookshelf just slides right open again. So, super easy to accomplish. So you walk through, I presume. What is the marching order here?
I'll go first.
Go for it.
Sensible.
Are you staying with everyone, or are you scouting ahead?
Well, I do have stealth, so maybe if I go in sneakily, I can gauge how we can do this.
Okay. All right. So you can go ahead and give me a stealth roll.
9.
9. Okay. So you are sneaking. And as you are sneaking, you hear muttering. And you hear whooshing. And you feel almost a slight breeze coming from here towards you. And it's a weirdly alien breeze. It doesn't feel like a natural sort of pleasant breeze. And you see this thrumming yellow light once again. And as you come out into what opens up, you see that you are just on the threshold of this much more massive room that drops down again. It has a much higher ceiling with like this big chandelier up top. And there is a large yellow stone just embedded in the floor in the middle of all of this. And you see more of these tables with dead bodies on them. You see one dead body that looks very familiar now, that was previously stabbed by Angelique on this table. And you see a hooded figure, the same hooded figure that you chased in the library, in fact, who is pumping these dead bodies with this black ichor from these tubes that are lining the walls.
All right. Part of me wants to hit the chandelier, but I'm going to go back and talk to the others about what I saw.
All right. So you sneak back to everyone else. You don't seem to have been noticed.
Nice. Okay, so the original guy we were following is in there, making more zombies. And it's even deeper than where we originally came from. How deep is this castle?
I don't know, but clearly Her Majesty doesn't know that there's a tunnel that goes down here. Otherwise, I'm sure she would have put a stop to this.
Possibly. And maybe that's exactly why these tunnels are getting deeper. So
I see no reason why we shouldn't just take care of him. I mean, we've got one alive.
all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am not looking to end up in a Minotaur's labyrinth tonight. It's all the
right.
same.
So you guys sneak your way to the end of the tunnel, and you hear voices now speaking. You've gone too far! This is unacceptable! When we agreed to this, what are you doing? And it just sounds so flustered, and you all would recognize the voice very clearly as you come out to look over the room, and you see a figure yelling at this cloaked, hooded figure, and the person yelling is wearing a lavish and ornate peacock feather dress.
Yeah, still feeling confident the queen has no idea?
Ooh.
I'm
And
pretty
that's
confident she knows we didn't stab the guy.
and that is where we are gonna cut it for tonight.
Ah.
So, yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us for watching Quill and Sword. This video will go live on our YouTube channel by the same name, Quill and Sword. So check it out, subscribe, all the things. Thank you to Sirenscape for providing the sound design and for the excellent music and sound effects. They really help bring the game to the next level. I super like it. They are in the cards if you're on Twitch, or they are in the description on YouTube. So thank you so much to all my players, and until next time, everybody, whether it's on the page or at the table in a D&D game, tell your story your way. Bye.